Minister to move the bill for
But I
consideration.
don't want to join the issue now at this stage, but it's always the prerogative of the government to list it. When to give time, that is left to the Business Advisory Committee. With my little experience of 17 years in Parliament, 17 or 18 years, that has been the practice also. So I don't want to join the issue. I have been trying since the day.
Okay.
Since
You move
the day, since the day
move the bill.
Sheljaji left that responsibility.
Move the consideration. Move
That
for
government, after the new government came, we have been making efforts, and then we have, in our collective wisdom, have sent it to the Senate Committee. Senate Committee has completed its job. I would like to commend the work of the Senate Committee also, and they made suggestions. Subsequently, this present government have considered this.
So the entire House wants it.
Yeah.
This side also said they want to pass it.
Because
Congress side also said they want to pass it. Government also wants.
Sir, I myself.
So nobody should pass back. Everybody wants it.
Please.
You also want.
Please.
Yes. The middle side.
Sir.
No, but the point is, there is only, you have, Taban, you have to be either in left or in the right. Now you are in the left. You say you are not left. Okay, please.
Sir,
Now move, please move. Please move, please move. Minister, please move.
The Deputy Chairman, sir.
Please.
With your permission, I rise to move that the bill to establish the Real Estate Regulatory Authority for regulation and promotion of the real estate sector and to ensure sale of plot, apartment or building, as the case may be, or sale of real estate project in a efficient and a transparent manner, and to protect the interests of the consumers in the real estate sector, and to establish an adjudicating mechanism for speedy dispute redressal, and also to establish the appellate tribunal to hear appeals from the decisions, directions or orders of the Real Estate Regulatory Authority and the adjudicating officer, and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto, as reported by the Senate Committee of the Rajya Sabha, be taken into consideration.
Yes. Now, motion moved. Now, Kumari Salja. See, the time allotted to the bill is 2 hours.
Yes, or,
If you want, you can.
yeah.
Then Kumari Salja, yes. If you want, you can.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please, you can.
Sir, Deputy Chairman, sir, with regard to what my friend Sri Jairam Ramesh ji has said, he is right. They made it very clear, and I got the signals also. And I can put it on record, not only from the Congress side, but almost all sides of the House. And I interacted with them, and some people directly also communicated to me. They are also eager to have this bill passed in this session itself. That's why I would like to thank all the people for the interest they have shown and the support they are extending to the bill. I'm thankful to that. Sir, with regard to bringing the bill, not bringing the bill, because Ramesh has made a remark, I have to just put it on record. On December 22nd itself, I brought the bill to the House. Whatever reason, it could not be taken up. On 15th, again, I placed it. And then on 4th also, I placed it. 7th also, 8th also, 9th also. So there is no hesitation from the government side. Let me put it straight on the record. That's all. But now that the entire House is broadly, even my friend Sri Naresh Agarwal ji also said he is not against the bill. He was only questioning the competence of the Parliament. For that matter, sir, I have to put it on record because he has taken the name of the Attorney General. I'm thankful to Jairam Ramesh also. He has also clarified the issue. The Attorney General is the highest judicial officer of the government. Parliament, whenever there is any problem with regard to legality of any legislation, refers to the Attorney General. And the Attorney General gives his opinion. So that being the case, there is no need to doubt the capacity or competence of the Attorney General. So the Parliament is the highest forum in democracy. It is required to do the needful to meet the aspiration of the people. What is the aspiration today? We have a program called as Housing for All. Housing for All, again, sir, I must admit, is not possible by government efforts alone. You need private sector participation also in a big way. Government and also private sector should also join together to take up this challenge, daunting task of Housing for All by 2022. Real estate sector, Deputy Chairman said, the second largest employer in the country, only next to agriculture, besides account for 9% of the GDP. Construction sector supports 250 ancillary industries. That's why the role of this sector is very important. That's why the previous government also proposed this bill. That's why the present government also is pursuing this bill. Thirdly, sir, in such an important sector over the decades has been marked by lack of trust and confidence between the consumers and the project developers. It's a reality of the fact. We have seen also in the recent days where some people are agitating and they are meeting members of parliament also about what has happened to them, particularly to the consumers by certain fly-by-night operators. I am not making a general comment on all the real estate developers. So the sector in certain areas has acquired some negativity, adversely impacting the investment climate besides hurting the interest of lakhs of home buyers every year. According to industry sources, Deputy Chairman sir, 10 lakh people buy houses every year. An investment about 3.5 lakh crores. According to the information available for 27 major cities, including 15 capital cities, 2,349 to 4,488 new housing projects were launched every year between 2011 and 2015. Thus, in these 27 cities, during the last 5 years, a total of 17,526 projects were launched with a total investment value of 13,69,820 crores. So delay in implementation of these housing projects due to lack of transparency and accountability has been the bane of real estate sector in this country. The credibility has come into question. This results in huge cost and time overruns. If you delay, then the cost goes up, resulting in increased cost of houses. That is a matter of serious concern. That's one of the reasons for bringing this bill. For various reasons, including lack of regulation in this sector, consumers have been reduced to a state of helplessness. Consumers drive the sector by investing their hard-earned money. For them to be at the receiving end is not the right way ahead of this critical sector, simply asking him to go to courts and all. Sir, in this connection, I would like to share a small personal experience. And I went to United States, first time in 1991, I think, as an young political exchange program. After my tour is completed, I was dropped at the Washington airport. From Washington, I was supposed to go to Los Angeles to meet some of my friends and visit certain areas. Person who was sitting there, that lady, told me, Mr. Naidu, you have not got our message. I said, what message? I was shocked because getting a message in America, while in America means something might have happened at home, back home. I was worried. She said, we sent a message to your embassy that the flight is delayed for technical reasons and all. I said, no ma'am, I could not get the message because I left embassy long back. So then she said, don't worry, what's your problem? I said, I am new, I don't know. My friend is waiting there at the airport. Then she said, give his telephone number. Then I gave, then she contacted him. He spoke to me and told me, alternative flight, what time, find out, and then I'll be waiting there. I was a little worried because first time America, you know, those days America, of course, now India also there are many things which are equivalent to America. So after I landed there, sir, after I went to the first floor, I was given a coupon, $7 coupon, saying that the flight is delayed, there is time, so you go and have some snacks, $7 coupon. I was elated. And then I went to the flight also. In the flight, there was a letter addressed to me, electronic typewriting those days, almost like printer, saying that, Mr. Naidu, we are very sorry for what has happened. There was some unexpected technical reason, the flight got delayed. Anyhow, as a token of our this thing, accept $25 check as a compensation. My impression about America has gone up like anything. Then I went there and landed in my place, and I told my friend while going in the car, my friend said, useless fellows, they have deceived you. These are all cheap tactics. I said, what? यार in India लेट होता है तो जो देर हुआ उसके लिए खेद है ऐसा एक लाइन बोलते मगर यहाँ पहले $7 दिया फिर लेटर दिया फिर बाद में $25 दिया. He said, you don't know, here in America if the flight is delayed beyond a time, people go to the attorney and then they file for a damage, and law of torts is very strong here, and people you will get compensation of $1,000 to $10,000. To avoid that, those fellows who आपको मस्का मारा लोगों ने ऐसा उन्होंने कहा है. But in India, sir, unfortunately, we are yet to develop a system where the law of torts is effective. The remedies that are available to the people are limited. And once you go to court, also much time is taking place also. It is everybody's knowledge. It is not to make any commentary about judiciary or anybody, but it's a matter of fact. Lakhs of cases are pending and it takes years. Certain cases suddenly come up, that's for other reasons. I don't want to comment upon that. But
Okay.
So, here, sir, the consumer, according to me, shall be the king. As had happened in the sectors like telecom, after a regulatory mechanism has been put in place. When there is a king, there got to be a queen also. The queen, obviously, is the developer. And there shall be a happy marriage between the king and the queen. For both to live happily ever after. Who is the prince? Prince is a prince. But prince is prince. Sir, the real estate bill that we are taking up today seeks to forego such a happy alliance between the buyers and the developers. This bill seeks to address the maladies of the sector by putting in place a regulatory mechanism. Sir, it is not a regulation. It's only a regulation, not a strangulation. Because I want to make it very clear, this bill is not aimed at against anybody. And I see a role of the private sector also in a big way in this. That will make my task also easy. Private sector also should be encouraged, but they should follow certain regulations. Then only there will be healthy growth in that sector. Okay. So for the sake of both the buyers and developers, we are now bringing this rights and obligations for a harmonious endeavor as envisaged in the bill. As for the latest information, Minister of Corporate Affairs have told us totally 76,044 companies are involved in the real estate sector. 76,044 companies. Those include more than 17,000 in Delhi, and the list also continues of various states and capitals. But unfortunately, the real estate sector has come to be seen in poor light on account of unscrupulous activities by some of the developers. There are many developers who are guided by principles and ethics. That's why those companies are shining better, doing a good job. But at the same time, there are some black sheep because of few, even though they are few in number, they are bringing bad name to the entire sector. So this will really help the sincere people, even the real estate sector also. With only a handful of operators in telecom sector, there is a regulatory mechanism. So with so many thousands of people in real estate sector, there is need to have a regulatory mechanism in the real estate sector also. That's also one of the reasons, sir. And today, with your cooperation, this important bill, which was brought in 2013, this provides for registration of all real estate projects, number one, with the regulatory authority. Then they have to disclose information beforehand, including details of promoter, project, layout plan, land status, status of approvals, agreements along with details of real estate agents, contractors, architects, structural engineers. All these details are need to be provided, they are mandated. This is necessary for timely ensuring execution of the projects and also to enhance the credibility of the developers to provide transparency in the field. Before introduction of this real estate bill, thanks to my colleague Shaljaji that she also did a lot of work and then brought this bill. And thanks to the standing committee, they have also gone through it and then made many meaningful sessions. Huh? I'm just coming. First I'm dealing with the standing committee earlier. And then after that, when the matter came here, the House in its collective wisdom has referred it to Senate committee. I'm thankful to the chairman of Senate committee, Sri Daveji, and also the members who worked in the Senate committee. In a record time and in a more meaningful and constructive manner, they have completed their job. And some members, of course, they have added dissent also. Dissent is part of democracy. They have added their dissent note also. After going through all this, sir, I have brought certain changes, and then that bill, as recommended by the Senate committee, is before the House. Okay. As I told you, the government has proposed a minimum of 70% collections from buyers shall be deposited in a separate bank account to cover the cost of the construction and land cost also. Earlier it was 70% proposed, then it was brought down to 50%. Subsequently, Senate committee broadly 50% they said, but dissenting note and all spoke about 70%. As I understood the concern, then finally we have come back to the position that 70%, we have put it in the 70%. So the bill seeks to make the consumer, as I told you, happy. At the same time also give some sort of comfort to the real estate developers. It also aims at improving the credibility of the real estate sector through necessary regulation. The demand for granting infrastructure status for real estate sector, which includes affordable housing, could be considered only when there is an effective regulatory mechanism. Otherwise, I can't even argue my case effectively with the finance minister. There is a huge potential for investment, foreign investment in the sector. That also needs to be looked into, but that is happening. The desired scale is not happening because of the vacuum of regulatory mechanism. So that's why the original bill introduced in 2013 has undergone substantial changes after consultation. Sir, this is a point again. After consultation with the state governments, consultation with various stakeholders, consultation with the consumer organizations, consultation with CREDI, real estate sector, detailed consultations were held. I have given them as many audiences as possible to hear their point of view also, because I feel they are also important stakeholders. My secretary also had a workshop also for different stakeholders. A day-long workshop also has been conducted. After all these discussions, bringing substantial changes, this bill has come. Sir, the real estate sector has been brought under the purview of the present bill. One. Projects under implementation before coming into effect of this bill will also be required to be registered. Third, norms for registration of projects with regulatory authority now stands reduced from the earlier bill of 1,000 square meters or 12 apartments. Present bill says 500 square meters or 8 apartments. Even the small people also brought in. All area proposed for registration of the draft bill was earlier 4,000 square meters. Carpet area is the new now specifically defined, which forms the basis of payment as in the case of developed countries, which ends malpractices. Because this one area, all honorable members are aware, carpet area, many of us do not know what exactly carpet area is, and whatever he says is the carpet area, built-up area, and the common area and all. And the consumer never had an opportunity to check. What I am bringing in this bill is the carpet area is defined, and then both the developers and consumers have to pay interest at the same rate for any delay. If there is a delay, there is an interest also. Aggrieved buyers can also approach 644 consumer courts available at the district level, because there was a concern expressed saying that you are going to have a regulator at the state level. How do you expect every consumer to go to the regulator, to go to the state capital? Not possible. We have not debarred the consumer courts jurisdiction. So all the 644 consumer courts, they will also have the jurisdiction, and regulator also is there. Sir, then bill now provides for arranging insurance of land title also, which was not there earlier. It's an improvement after the corrective wisdom. This helps both the buyers and promoters in case of defective land title. That's another problem. The developer, after completing the project, he goes away. And then the original owner comes and he says, this is work property, this is temple property, this is private property, this is somebody's. Then the consumers are left to lurch. So that also now we have provided insurance also. Consent of 2/3 of authorities is now required for changing project plans. Sometimes what happens, they will show something in paper, in brochure. After you pay advance or you pay money, then they change the plans according to their own liking. Now, unless 2/3 of those people who are authorities, they accept, you cannot change the plan. Some flexibility is given, because sometimes even the authorities also may come to a view that this will be a better option, keeping that. Sir, then appellate tribunal will now be required to adjudicate cases in 60 days against earlier 90 days. That's an improvement, sir. Regulatory authorities to dispose of complaints in 60 days. 60 days also is a long period, but still from 90 we are bringing it out to 60. A provision is now made for imprisonment up to 3 years in case of promoters and up to 1 year in case of real estate agents and buyers for continuous violation of orders of appellate tribunal or monetary penalties both. There is a concern about this among some sectors, including real estate sector. Some of the members of parliament also spoke to me. Sir, but this is the last resort. There will be a warning, there will be a penalty, and if there is a continuous violation of the appellate tribunal order, then that provision which is there in Indian Penal Code, it will apply. Just it only to deter them from violating this, not for any other reason. We don't want to harass anybody. As I told you, it's only a regulation, not a strangulation. Sir, honorable members, there is an unsold stock of around 10 lakh houses in major cities on account of increase in prices due to cost and time overruns and dwindling investors' confidence. The recently government has launched the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Housing for All, urban mission to realize the Prime Minister's vision for Housing for All by 2022. To achieve this gigantic task, active participation of all stakeholders, including private sector, is required. So that's why I would appeal to the private sector also to join us and participate in a big way, take advantage of this. And then I must also confess before the House, sir, during my consultation with these people, Some of the leading developers in the country, they all told me, sir, we are one with you, nothing to worry. There may be some fly-by-night operators who are spoiling our name, so you please go ahead. That was, we had wider consultation, not only here, in different parts of the country also. Sir, I am also happy that the Honorable Finance Minister in the budget for 2016 and 17 has highlighted the housing sector and also is given certain tax exemptions also. Service tax exemption, 100% deduction on profit, and then size of the houses up to 30 square meters in 4 metropolitan cities, 60 square meters in other cities, excise duty exemption for ready-mix concrete, additional rupees 50,000 deduction in income tax for houses with value up to 50 lakhs, housing loan up to 35 lakhs, raising the HRA deduction from 24,000 to 60,000 under section 80 GG. These all are going to help my real estate sector, help the housing activity. Because without these incentives, they are also for business, so they have to get some incentives. Secondly, home buyers also, they need some support. They are going to get this thing also. Even my Housing for All program, I am offering for a credit-linked housing subsidy, record 6.5% interest subvention, which will be given in the beginning of the loan itself. That also is going to give a fillip to this movement. As I told you, the capacities of the government have shown limitations, and unless the private sector also joins this, we will not be able to achieve our targets. So at the end, I want to say, I try to strike a balance to the extent possible in my own way. After hearing the views of different sections, there may be still some scope for improvement. We can think about data, because already from 2013 to 2016, 3 years have passed. So I would urge upon the House, I recommend this for discussion in the House, and urge upon the House to give our valuable suggestions, but at the same time, please extend support for passing this bill. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.